What can he do against Morocco? That's the first of three commentaries coming up on 5 Live Sport. Portugal against Morocco at 1, Uruguay against Saudi Arabia at 4, and then at 7 o'clock it's Iran against Spain. We're going to build up to the first of them after the BBC News with Kate Williams.
On digital, online, smartphone and tablet, this is BBC 5 Live.
An independent inquiry into a Hampshire hospital has found an institutionalised practice of shortening the lives of older patients by giving them drugs with no medical justification. It found more than 450 older people had their lives cut short at Gosport War Memorial Hospital in the 1980s and 90s. The Prime Minister is again facing possible rebellion in the House of Commons over key Brexit legislation. MPs will vote this afternoon on whether they should have a bigger say in the event of no deal being reached with the EU. Meanwhile, Theresa May has told MPs that a bill will be introduced tomorrow to tackle upskirting or secretly taking pictures under someone else's clothes. She told Prime Minister's Questions that it's a hideous invasion of privacy and persistent offenders will be added to the sex offenders register. And there's been widespread criticism of the United States' decision to pull out of the UN Human Rights Council. Washington says the organisation is a cesspool of political bias.
This is BBC 5 Live on digital, smart speaker, smartphone and tablet.
Not too bad on the roads at the moment. Delays on the M42 southbound after an earlier accident between junction 10 for Tamworth and 9 for the M6 toll. All the lanes are now open, but it's taking a while for the queues to clear there. And in Oxfordshire, the A40 currently closed both ways at Burford.
5 Live Sports.
The FIFA World Cup Russia.
Trippier to take it. Maguire with the header. It's not in by Kane! Harry's done it for St George. He's won the opening match for England in Russia.
Next, England take on Panama. Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff.
That's what these games are about. It's a World Cup. You're going to the last second, and yeah, absolutely buzzing.
Ecstatic when that goal went in. England deserved that.
The FIFA World Cup
On 5 Live and across the BBC. 5 Live Sport at the World Cup with Kelly Cates.
There's been one man of the tournament so far.
Here he goes with the free kick. It's in! Patrick Cristiano Ronaldo! It flew past the hair. Spain thought they'd done enough, but they hadn't done enough for Cristiano Ronaldo.
So what can he do against Morocco? Commentary to come from 1 o'clock. Diego Costa is on his heels for the Golden Boot, but is today the day this man makes his mark?
Oh, and it is Luis Suarez! It had to be that man! Luis Suarez with a firm header! The man we all feared has scored for Uruguay! Suarez!
You'll find out here on 5 Live Sport.
the FIFA World Cup.
Live from Russia, this is 5 Live Sport.
Hello, welcome to 5 Live Sport, live from Red Square in Moscow. Here's the plan for today. We'll kick things off against Portugal against Morocco in Group B. The other match in that group, Iran against Spain from 7 o'clock. And sandwiched between both of those, Uruguay against Saudi Arabia. Remember to subscribe to the World Cup Daily Podcast. That way you'll wake up to a brand new podcast every morning. Today's features Cesc Fabregas, and tomorrow has Hernan Crespo as the main attraction. Alongside me in the studio, European football expert Guillaume Balaguet, and our football correspondent John Murray and Terry Butcher are at the Luzhniki Stadium. It's quite quiet, the streets of Moscow, coming into the studio this morning. Certainly a lot quieter than they were last night following Russia's 3-1 win against Egypt, and there were extraordinary scenes of celebration, John Murray.
That was something else, wasn't it, Kelly? We were out in central Moscow after the programme last night, weren't we? And just off Red Square in one of the avenues there. What a sight, an unforgettable experience in that the Russians were out in force, celebrating the fact that they've effectively clinched their place in the knockout stages of their own World Cup. But it was the mix, wasn't it? It was that Moscow mix of cultures, football shirts, every possible nation represented at the World Cup was there on the streets. You could hardly move, could we? And,
no, it was busy.
I don't think I'll ever forget last night near Red Square. Will you?
No, definitely not. Definitely won't forget that one. It was a fantastic evening with incredible scenes of celebration. And Guillaume, you were saying just before we came on air, it's taken the Russian public by surprise.
Yeah, it has. Quite clearly, what we were reporting, which was that the Russians themselves didn't believe in the national side, came from the Russians themselves. But they kind of hooked to success. So I was with a local journalist this morning, and he was saying the first game nobody knew. And actually, you walk the streets and you wouldn't say there was a World Cup. You wouldn't say that Russia was playing in a World Cup. But of course, they saw the result. Oh, right, okay, 5-0. So now everybody's watching. But I just think that it's not so much, what would be the word, synergy with the national side, or at least chantings that have got a bit of tradition. So I saw a girl last night with a scarf of Russia chanting in English, "Russia wins again." Russia wins again, which doesn't sound like something you chant in the stadiums for a long time, or something that comes from tradition.
Well, it's not Russian for a start.
It's not Russian at all, actually. It was very, very English. But she wanted to make sure that everybody remembered, of course, by looking around, as you were saying earlier. You know, there were not so much the fireworks, but there was like
flares.
The flares.
Yeah. No pyro, no party.
Yes, and everybody shouting, and I think the Russians went back home at some point, and then it was only the English and some Spaniards just hanging around at the end, I think, because they have to work today.
Well, some of us do have to work today. That's true. Let's talk about the day that we've got coming up, because it was fantastic last night. Great for the Russian celebrations. But today, Terry, the names that are on show, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo, who we know had that fantastic start to the competition against Spain. Luis Suarez yet to get up and firing, really. Diego Costa hot on Ronaldo's heels for the Golden Boot Award. We're going to see some of the big boys in action today.
We are, and I feel very privileged to be in the same stadium as Cristiano Ronaldo, so I'll have a look today. I don't think he'll score 3, but I think he will score again today. But we looked about the Portuguese side and the Moroccan side. A lot of Moroccan fans here today. They outnumber the Portuguese by about 3 or 4 to 1 at least, so very noisy, very red in the stadium. Morocco have got 7 players over 30, would you believe? But Portugal, we always thought Portugal were an ageing team, but they have 6 players in their team, 26 or less. So there's a good spring of young Portuguese players coming through, but it won't be goalless today. I keep saying this, it won't be goalless. If I keep on saying that, the goals are scored in this World Cup, so we want to see more.
We do want to see more. Ronaldo already has 3. He's top of the goal-scoring chart so far, with Cheryshev, who is the new Russian hero. Zuba, Costa, Kane and Lukaku have 2 each. But it feels, Guillaume, that there's still lots more to come from some of the star players that we're looking out for.
Can I sound like a bitter Spaniard for a second?
Oh, do.
Right. One goal was a mistake by De Gea. The other one was a penalty.
Come on.
And yes, the free kick was absolutely fantastic. And he shoot 4 times in the whole game. You know, we made it easy for him. But yes, of course, he was very, 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 very effective. When he actually had only scored, as we said before the tournament started, only 3 goals in 3 tournaments. But there is more to it than that, and you're absolutely right. There is more from him to come. There was a moment where he actually started a sprint in his own box against Spain, and Guedes was 10 meters away from his own box, and still 21-year-old, and the fastest in Portugal, no doubt. And Ronaldo still managed to run past him. And Guedes, when he got the ball, he seemed tired and confused, while Ronaldo was wanting the ball. So he seems to have arrived at the right physical moment, partly because he knows his limits now. He walks a lot, and he just explodes when his pace, when he wants to and needs to. He's very intelligent in that. Carlos Queiroz was talking about him, the Iran national coach, because Carlos helped him when he was at Manchester United. He basically said, you're a good player, but you want to be the best, you've still got to do more. And one of the things he's saying now is that because he touches the ball less, he's a better player. I think he went from a phase in which he wanted the ball all the time, and that made him really, really good and won the Ballon d'Or. Then later, it was the confusion of my body's not giving me what I want. And now we see a Ronaldo that, yes, he's picked physically, but he's intelligent, very intelligent in what he does with his physique.
He is. I think they clocked him at 33 kilometres an hour or something in that game against Spain. I wouldn't even try. 8 seconds to run the length of a pitch, I think, is what they did. Surprising then that he doesn't start today. I'm only joking. Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, in Portugal's starting lineup. John Murray, what's the rest of the team news?
Yeah, just the one change for the European champions, for Portugal, after the thriller with Spain on Friday night. And it is João Mario, who was on loan at West Ham from January onwards last season. He comes in on the left-hand side of midfield for Bruno Fernandes, who I thought did struggle a little bit at times in that opening match for Portugal. But the more interesting team news is Morocco's, because Watford's Nordin Amrabat is in the team. The word in the lead-up to this was that Amrabat would miss this match because of concussion. You might remember he had a clash of heads during the Iran match. But he's in the team, so we can only take from that he obviously has been cleared to play, because the protocol is that players with suspected concussion have to undergo an examination by the team doctor. This is all governed by the FIFA Medical Committee regulations regarding concussion. But we have to take it that he's been cleared to play in this match because he's on the team sheet. There are 3 other changes for Morocco. Diarra, importantly, is recovered from a knee injury to play at right back. That's important for Morocco because obviously Ronaldo plays on that side of the field. Boutaïb is in up front, and Da Costa is playing in central defence instead of Saiz of Wolves. I'll run through the teams in full just before we get underway.
Thank you very much for that, John. Really interesting news about the concussion. As you said, we can only assume that he has passed the relevant test and is fit. Well, he is playing in this game, and so we have to assume that he is fit to play. We were talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously. It all kind of revolves around him for Portugal. There may be a changing cast around him, and they do change, Guillaume, their lineup around him. But he is the ever-present, and he wants to be the GOAT. He wants to be the greatest of all time. What's happening?
Fashion news.
Fashion news.
Hairdressing news. He actually is wearing a goatee. Is it a goatee? It's but it's only the lower part of the goatee. So is that, you still call it a goatee?
I think so.
But it has to be a goatee for what we're talking about now. Because he celebrated one of the goals, touching with his hands the end of his face as if he was wearing a goatee, which he wasn't. But he is now tonight. He's got some hair. He normally is completely
smooth, clean shaven.
And of course that has to do, we think, with a cover in the magazine, New York magazine, Paper, fashion magazine, in which it was actually a brilliant cover. Messi is next to a real GOAT. GOAT being greatest of all time in English. And I think he's kind of either celebrating the fact that Messi is, by popular vote, voted the greatest in the world, or he's actually challenging that by giving the kind of response that he's giving in this World Cup. What do you think?
Which one's more likely, do you think, Ian?
Quite clearly, he's competing all the time, and he's competing now with Messi. He wouldn't be affected by Messi not doing well. In fact, he will celebrate that, and he's in a kind of childish way. He's doing so.
I know, but as you said, and you've written about him in your book, that he operates really like a 12-year-old emotionally. There's sort of the age at which he started really fighting for his football career, and that's the age at which he operates. Look, in terms of football, obviously not operating in any way like a child. I mean, it's at the absolute peak of his career. If he got a hat-trick against Spain, as much as you called yourself as a bitter Spain supporter.
I was just telling, those were truths, they were facts.
As much as the facts may point to that, then, what can he do against this Moroccan side?
Well, quite clearly Morocco's going to try to defend, but they realise, of course, that they need to get something out of this one. I'm surprised that Harit, who was one of the bright spots of Morocco against Iran from the left-hand side attacking, is disappeared from the lineup. Perhaps Amrabat, Belhanda, who's got a lot of quality as the number 10, and Siyak, who expect so much from them, would be the ones attacking. But Portugal have shown that they've got the ability to defend deep and then counter-attack, as they did with Spain. But if they need to, they have the quality to play the ball, and that's something that perhaps should have done more with Spain, and will force to do that here. With the likes of João Mario, who's more of a winger than Bruno Fernandes is, the one who's replaced. With Moutinho, with William, Bernardo Silva, they should be able to open up the defence of Morocco and still stop Morocco to counter-attacking. But it will be at the end about what Cristiano Ronaldo does, and I'm sure, as you were saying, more than ever, he's the leader of the side, and they will look out for him.
Terry, has he got a really good shout of winning? Well, he always would have been one of the favourites to win the Golden Boot, but having got 3 against Spain, because he's up against Morocco and then Iran in the next match, that could give him an unassailable lead before we're even out of the group stages.
I don't really think he's thought about it, do you? Of course he has. Of course he's thought about it, yeah. I mean, he fancies, he should be wetting his lips here. I mean, we heard from Steven Gerrard this morning talking about players resting during the tournament just to try and keep them sharp, because playing 3 games in a row would tire them out. And he felt shattered, now the players felt shattered, but Ronaldo's not going to feel shattered if he's scoring hat-tricks and goals per game, every game that he plays. Yes, he wants the Golden Boot. Yes, he wants to be the best player, and why not? If you've got the ability, why don't you push yourself to get and do just that?
But his coach has been quite exasperated in interviews when he is constantly asked about Cristiano Ronaldo, constantly asked about whether or not Ronaldo is going to carry on breaking records, whether he's going to win the Golden Boot. He said it's not an individual sport, it's a team sport. It's not just about Cristiano Ronaldo. We're a team who wants to do well, not a sum of individuals who want to beat records. But he's in an almost impossible situation, isn't he? When you have a player with that star quality, with that ability, trying to manage the players around him.
Yeah, he certainly has, but what a wonderful thing to have someone of his ability in the team. Look at Euro 2016, you know, Ronaldo is part of a team, but he is everything. He is everything to the Portuguese, and yeah, you will get fed up with all the questions. There's no doubt about that, and you have to answer them, and you have to do this and do that. But there is more to Ronaldo. Everybody who's playing against Portugal knows there's more to Portugal than Ronaldo. If you can keep Ronaldo quiet, yes, but there's other players in this Portuguese team that can cause trouble as well. So you have to keep your eye on him at all time, and he can score the free kicks, he can score the long shots, he can score the tap-ins and the miss-hits, although he doesn't miss-hit many. But he is a unique player, and we have to accept the fact that he is unique. Messi to a certain degree, but Ronaldo definitely, yeah, very, very unique.
In fact, as Terry says, Portugal won the European Championships without Ronaldo, really. He was injured for the final, but he didn't perform very well because of that injury that he carried. It's perhaps the first tournament in 4 that actually is physically well, and it's down to 2 things. One, start to listen to another superhero. They speak the same language, Zidane and him, you know, Zidane telling him, you have to rest. All right, okay. And then realizing that he had peaked physically, so it was better to rest. But secondly, Fernando Santos has been very important. He's the first national coach that he doesn't feel that is taking away some of the light away from Ronaldo. Ronaldo feels that he's with a kind of father figure he's been looking for all his life, as his father died young and he was an alcoholic. He had Sir Alex Ferguson to do that kind of role. Fernando Santos does exactly that. He listens to him and vice versa. And with those two, Zidane and Fernando Santos, Cristiano Ronaldo has also realized what his role is in the side, which is about leading, certainly, but he needs everybody else. And that means, yes, you have to choose the perfect partner to him. And it's a surprise that Guedes is partnering him today, as he was a little bit poor against Spain. But it's all about working around Cristiano and his ability. Yeah,
and Pepe and the players seem to embrace the fact that they have a player like that in there. Pepe said it's a privilege for us, for Portugal, to have a player like Cristiano Ronaldo. It doesn't feel as though there's a resentment of having this focal point.
You can. He's the guy that wins you the games. You just cannot do it. I remember after the European Championship final where he actually made it all about himself, didn't he? He was actually pushing Fernando Santos away in the technical area and giving instructions. And I asked some of the players there, said, did you see Ronaldo giving you instructions? He says, no, I just completely ignored it. I saw him jumping up and down. He says, but you know what he did? One told me, Nani actually told me, he actually showed me the video of him in the technical area and saying, this is what made you win, this is what made you win. And you just have to laugh. Yes, he was, Cristiano, thank you very much for you jumping up and down in the technical area. That's what made us win. So I think now, again, the side, as well as the national coach, understand him. And they all say the same words in Real Madrid as well. Cristiano Ronaldo is just Cristiano Ronaldo. He
just is what he is, and you get such a fantastic end product at the end of it. Who else should we be looking out for in the Portugal side? Because look, as much as he is their star player, what about the players around him, Terry?
Yeah, the players have to give him the ball as well, but there are some very, very good players around him. There's some young ones, like I said before, very exciting ones that can get the legs. If you've got a star that is Ronaldo, you have to run around and get the ball to him, but you have to do your jobs and do them well. So it's a good unit. The Portuguese side's a good unit, and having gone ahead against Spain, the Spain to come back and then go ahead, they kept going. I thought there was no way back for them, but they kept going. Ronaldo and the rest of the team as well. So when they are out on that pitch, they are one united team. There's not just one individual out there. They are a hard team to beat.
I'm hoping to see a little bit more from Bernardo Silva this afternoon, Kelly, because as we know, he's such a great talent. I thought we didn't really see the best of him against Spain, which is partly due to the way that Spain looked after the ball. But I think there's every chance in this match that we might see a Bernardo Silva a little more as we recognised from last season, and we're just hearing now, because on the big screens that hang from this amazing roof of the Luzhniki, that the Moroccans dominate the population inside the stadium. A huge shot of Cristiano Ronaldo in the tunnel, and he was widely and loudly jeered and whistled.
Morocco could be out of this competition by the end of the day if they lose this. Nabil Dirar says today now will be a final for us, an important battle. We'll give our life on the pitch. How on earth do you defend against this team if you're Morocco, Terry?
Well, you can't. If you think that you're going to just defend and then try and catch them on the break, then yeah, possibly that might be the right tactic in terms of bringing out Portugal. But Portugal are a good team to counter-attack as well. The Moroccans in the first game had 68% possession, but still lost. So it doesn't mean that you're going to try and dominate the ball, because you can still lose the game like they did in the first one. So I think they've got to play it pretty cute. I mean, if that was me and now, I would just say, right, try and pass it, get the ball, try and bring one or two out, try and get round the sides, try and get down the lines if you possibly can, and just get some crosses in the box. But they're a big side, Portugal. We saw that against Spain. So set pieces wise, no, we're going to try and draw the big men out, try and draw Fonte out, try and draw Pepe into the wide areas, try and get them to move from that centre half role that they like. So they pass the ball very well, Morocco, so they've got to be slick, they've got to be quick, little 1-2s around the box, plenty of long shots, and test the keeper. Who knows? We've seen Mexico do it, so why can't Morocco?
They have to be brave. If they play like the first 15 minutes against Iran, this is a team that can cause a little bit of problem to Portugal. Not perhaps in 90 minutes, but those first 15 minutes, it was all this that Terry's talking about, the ability to actually attack in wide areas. There's quality in the middle with Belhanda. Siak, we expect, as we were saying earlier, a little bit more, but they have ability, and they are not a typical side that will defend deep and trying to counter. They will try to do more with the ball. So it'll be interesting to see if Portugal, which can do a little bit of everything, if they go at them, if they pressure in high, or if they're waiting for them and use the pace of Cristiano and Guedes and Bernardo Silva to surprise them.
Well, this is how Group B looks at the moment. Iran top with 3 points, Portugal and Spain with a point each, and Morocco bottom with no points, a goal difference of -1. Maybe not the way you would expect the table to look after one round of matches, but that's how it is as we go into the second round of matches in Group B. It's Portugal against Morocco at the Luzhniki Stadium, and here to take you through it, your commentary team of Terry Butcher and John Murray.
Well, what about this, Terry? This scene in front of us here in the Luzhniki Stadium. The World Cup final itself is going to be staged here next month. We had a very red night in Moscow last night because of Russia's latest success, but this stadium here is absolutely drenched in red. The red of Portugal, but much more so the red of Morocco, because the Moroccan supporters do bear in mind that Morocco are at a World Cup for the first time for 20 years. So this is a special generation, for a special event for over a generation of Moroccan football fans. And they are here and they are making a noise, Terry.
Yeah, they certainly are. I wonder if they'll be making a noise if they're virtually out of the World Cup in 22 minutes of the match and Portugal go 3-0 up or something like that. But yeah, they've come here to support their team. That's why they pay their money. That's why they support their country. And they think they've got a chance today, as does any team that plays against Portugal, because you know that Ronaldo sometimes has an off day, but you try and get at that defence and you try and your very best. But they've shown in possession they're great. But I tell you what, it's a beautiful, beautiful sight, and this is an absolutely magnificent stadium. Gorgeous.
Yes, maybe they're set on enjoying it while they can, because Morocco could go out this afternoon. But it's time first for the anthems, and of course, it's Portugal first. have our Portuguese television colleagues right to our right here. They look in the mood. And now Morocco. The Moroccan players, such a big day for them today. They have Portugal and Spain to play in their 2 remaining games, and they have to get something out of them to stay in it. Came across to you. It was deafening inside the stadium. We've got the rocking the Casbah in the Luzhniki, Terry.
We certainly have a bit of support from the crowd, a lot of support from the crowd. That was magnificent, that was. And if I was a Moroccan player today, I'd be well pleased with their support that I've received, and I would want to do it for these fans that have travelled a long way and have given such a vibrancy to this World Cup, as have many fans as well. It's been absolutely brilliant with the spectacle of the fans in the streets, mixing with each other, drinking with each other, laughing with each other. But when it comes down to these games, it's a war on the pitch, it's a battle on the pitch. You want to win, and certainly Morocco feel that they have to win today.
Well, I must say it's excellent to have an international football manager sitting alongside me for the commentary on 5 Live this afternoon. If you haven't heard, Terry's taken the job in charge of the Philippines, but you at home, I'm sure, will remember Terry as a great England central defender, having played at 3 World Cups. The match is on BBC One as well, incidentally. There's another fine England central defender sitting just down in front of us, Martin Keown's alongside Vicky Sparks. So you can watch that if you're on the way home, this Portugal-Morocco game. And also, you'll be able to listen to our commentary, matched up with the pictures via the red button on your television. Because it is a live BBC match on the screen, so the red button to continue listening to me and Terry. So Portugal, Morocco, we could see the first team knocked out of this World Cup. Morocco, if they lose, will be out. They will not be able to reach the knockout stage, but they have this prospect now of having to take points against Portugal and Spain, 2 matches in the space of 6 days if they're going to get through. Portugal, after their dramatic 3-3 against Spain, obviously have their sights set on their first victory here in Russia. The Portugal team, the new Wolves goalkeeper Rui Patricio, back 4 are Cedric Suarez, Pepe, José Font and Rafael Guerreiro, same back 4 as Friday night. Bernardo Silva, João Moutinho, William Carvalho and João Mario coming into the side for Bruno Fernandes, with Cristiano Ronaldo the captain and Gonzalo Guedes up front. And Morocco making 3 changes from their 1-0 defeat to Iran. Munir's in goal, Nabil Dira has recovered to play at right back, Mehdi Benatia and Manuel da Costa are the central defenders, Achraf Hakimi of Real Madrid at left back, and then in midfield Karim El Ahmadi and Mbak Boussoufa, with Noureddin Amrabat fit to play on the right side of midfield, Hakim Ziyech on the left and Yunus Belhanda behind Khaled Boutaib up front. So we are ready for kickoff. The Luzhniki Stadium, first time I've done a match in here since it was rebuilt in time for the World Cup. The former Olympic stadium from the famous 1980 Olympics, where Alan Wells won his gold medal in the 100 metres, but now transformed from then. This wonderful circular roof above our heads, and above that blue sky and puffy white clouds. The stadium drenched in red, Moscow drenched in sun.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to
play forward, and Morocco have it again. Around the edge of the penalty area, it's a clever little reverse ball in for Boutaïb, who pulled it back. Ziyech made his run just a little bit too far ahead of the ball. Belhanda there too quickly as well, and it'll be cleared easily by the Portuguese back line, but picked up again by Munir. And in terms of possession in the early stages, it's Morocco who've had the majority of it, 60% inside the opening 8 minutes here on TalkSport. Portugal leading 1-0. Ronaldo, the history maker, with the goal. Another opportunity for Guerrero to bring the ball forward here. He's made some 20, 30 yards. Ronaldo on the turn, works the angle, right-footed shot across the face of goal. Creeps narrowly wide. It was almost 2 for him inside the opening 9 minutes.
It's almost physically impossible to put the superlatives in place for this fella Ronaldo. I mean, his goal-scoring record speaks for itself. He's had one touch diving in with his head, boots flying, but the goal was his only eye line that he had at the time, not worrying about getting injured. Ball into feet there, swivels round the corner, knew exactly what he was going to do with it before it arrived at his feet, and if it wasn't for 6 inches inside the post, he gets his second. Incredible play.
Portugal again can clear their lines. Down towards João Mario on the left-hand side of the midfield. William Carvalho couldn't mop up. He can at the second attempt. Back into the feet of João Mario. Had that lone spell at West Ham from Inter Milan. And his touch has taken it over the line in towards the feet of Hervé Renard, the Frenchman, the coach of Morocco, former Cambridge United manager, who has seen his side play well in both games, but lose one and trail in the other. Now they're on the front foot with the ball whipped in. A little flick header towards the far post. Wasn't a bad attempt. It was Basoufa who made his way forward. He was hoping that somebody was gambling by making that far post run. Nobody did. And it's drifted over the line and out of play for a goal kick. But Morocco's still in this, 1-0 down. Yeah, fantastic ball into the near post. Basoufa just getting a little glance on it. They appealed for a corner, but the referee wasn't having any of it. Mubarak Basoufa, another player who's had experience of playing in England. He was at Chelsea as a teenager, but didn't make the grade there, but now make nearly 60 appearances. But Morocco's still in this, 1-0 down. Yeah, fantastic ball into the near post. Basoufa just getting a little glance on it. They appealed for a corner, but the referee wasn't having any of it. Mubarak Basoufa, another player who's had experience of playing in England. He was at Chelsea as a teenager, but didn't make the grade there, but now make nearly 60 appearances for his country. Ball spent plenty of time off the island in the early stages. So again, it's a throw to the Moroccans in front of their own technical area. Dirar down the line for Nordin Amrabat. He's got the better of Guerrero, and Amrabat runs inside the penalty area, trying to pull it back. It's hit Font and has gone out of play for Morocco's first corner of the game on their right flank. Even in these early stages, you get the impression that Morocco are going to have chances. When they get them, they're going to have to be clinical, like Portugal have shown already. As soon as they've got one sniff of goal, admittedly they've got Ronaldo in their ranks, they're going to have to make sure they take their chances when they do come. It's a left-footed in-swinging delivery towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and the header came down from Da Costa. And diving away to the right-hand side, it was picked up by Rui Patricio. Might actually have been Benatia that got the last contact on it. Rui Patricio grateful to make the save. An attempt on target. Source of optimism for the Moroccans, who, like Portugal, come into this on the back of only one defeat in the last 19 games. Portugal's record in the World Cup hasn't been great. They've won only 2 of the last 11 World Cup matches that they've played in 90 minutes, but have been difficult to beat. They've only lost 1 of the last 10 group games that they played. That was when they were annihilated in Salvador by Germany in their opening game in 2014. Here come the Portuguese again. They're 20 yards outside the Moroccan penalty area. Lovely piece of skill by Bernardo Silva. Low centre of gravity, finding a way through. Then when the ball was cleared by Da Costa, Silva, having fallen over, got back to his feet and tried to deflect a header wide to the right-hand touchline for Cedric. But it's gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Moroccan left. This is the first of 3 live games for you on TalkSport today. Coming up later, Uruguay against Saudi Arabia. I wonder which way that one's going to go. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff. And then at 7, the next game in this group, Group B, as Iran play Spain. Morocco will push forward. Remember, if they lose, they are out, mathematically eliminated from the tournament on day 6. They're on the front foot with Ziyech. Tries to find a way down the line. Hakimi's there to help him. And it goes out for a throw, which will be taken by Hakimi. Level the edge of the Portuguese penalty area, taken quickly into the feet of Amrabat. Pulled back for Ziyech. Left-footed ball in from him. Hits the nearest Portuguese player. Cedric almost knocked him off his feet. Then a subsequent cross. He's deflected behind and out for another corner. And they won the aerial battle for the last corner they had. What can they do from this one? 1-0 to Portugal. Yeah, when Portugal have had the when Morocco have had the ball and run at the Portuguese back line, they've looked a little bit static, to be fair, and they've looked as though they've got the beating of 1 or 2 of them. Benatia and Da Costa, the 2 centre-halves, stand on the edge of the penalty area. It's Belhanda that's going to take this. There are 2 inside the 6-yard box. Amrabat, one of those, makes a darting near-post run. It's flighted over the top and easily cleared. Out only as far as Al Ahmadi. And the former Villaman works it wide to the left-hand touchline. In it comes again. Da Costa leaning back. All he could do was get some contact on it with his head. And he can just divert it in towards the hoardings right in front of that vociferous travelling Moroccan support away to our right-hand side. side. 13 gone on TalkSport, and the opening quarter of an hour is raced by. Portugal leading Morocco by a goal to nil. Cristiano Ronaldo, inevitably perhaps the man who broke the deadlock, is Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side for Portugal. Back to Cedric. Cedric on the touchline. Instruction to turn as Ronaldo will bring it forward. Just ran down a blind alley for a moment. And then when he gets it back, he's worked it down the touchline. He's appealing that he should have had a free kick. The net result, though, according to the referee, is a Moroccan throw. A little bit deeper, about midway inside their own half, in the left-back position. And it's a throw that is taken by Hakimi. Portugal win the second ball in the midfield. And then when he gets it back, he's worked it down the touchline. He's appealing that he should have had a free kick. The net result, though, according to the referee, is a Moroccan throw. A little bit deeper, about midway inside their own half, in the left-back position. And it's a throw that is taken by Hakimi. Portugal win the second ball in the midfield. Carvalho has it. Big barrel-chested midfielder. Work wide towards the left-hand side for Guerreiro. Guerreiro's ball into the feet of the penalty area. Guedes, the PSG striker, tries to win it, just loses out. And an opportunity for Dirar to play it forward. He's found Nordin Amrabat, back from him to Belhanda. Now El Ahmadi. He just toe pokes it forward through the midfield. Sliding change from Moutinho was perfectly timed, and William Carvalho is the beneficiary of that. João Mario's got it now. Behind square is Bernardo Silva, forward into the feet of Ronaldo. Back from Cedric to Ronaldo again. Ronaldo with a step over. Then work wide by Moutinho. Cedric down the line. Bernardo Silva's onside. 3-away Matt if he can get it across. He's had to pull it back. Cedric's deep delivery. Ronaldo waiting at the far post. It didn't quite get to him. It was knocked away by Dirar. And Morocco will then launch it forward, trying to get Boutaïb, the striker, to have a run at the centre halves. But he couldn't hold it up. And Moutinho will pick it up again. Work wide towards Cedric. Cedric back inside his own half for Pepe. The player now plays his football for Beşiktaş in Turkey. Just 3 caps short of a century for Portugal. And we get the ball again from William Carvalho. Now it goes back to the right-hand side of the back line where Cedric peels away. Cedric turns it, brings it under control and works it back for his goalkeeper. Portugal leading Morocco here on TalkSport with 16 minutes gone. Ronaldo's goal, the difference between the two sides, and alongside me the former England captain Stuart Pearce.
Morocco attempting to put a high press on Portugal and stop them playing, and they're making it very difficult for Portugal. But once they get past that first press, they're finding they've got a little bit more space to play with. But Morocco's tactics at this moment in time, from goal kicks and further up the pitch, is to put that high press on. And we've just seen Amrabat launch his scrum cap off the pitch now.
We talked about before the game the fact that he picked up that head injury in the opener against Iran. We're playing in a scrum cap today, obviously not happy with it, impairing his mobility perhaps, or just feeling uncomfortable. He's thrown it away. Play goes on with Morocco in possession, but not for long. Da Costa, all he could do was force it through the midfield. And the new Wolves goalkeeper Rui Patricio clears it for Portugal. Headed back by Benatia, and then going up for it in the midfield area was El Ahmadi. Played over the top by Boutaïb. He's got to run now towards the edge of the penalty area. Ziyech to his left-hand side, turns inside his marker brilliantly and has a low left-footed shot which is blocked by Cedric. And Ziyech punches the palm of one hand with the fist of the other, furious that he wasn't able to make more of a half-decent opening for Morocco, who trail here by a goal to nil in a match they simply can't lose. El Ahmadi, left-hand side of the penalty area, pulls it back for Ziyech again, who's quite influential in the early stages of this one. Now it's chipped in towards Boutaïb, but he couldn't get the run on Font to get a header towards goal, and it'll be cleared by Guerreiro down the left-hand side, given away though by João Mario, who's had a slowish start. Boutaïb will chase. Guerreiro gets it back and works it back to his goalkeeper, but plenty of attacking signs of promise and intent as far as the Moroccans are concerned. They're on the front foot again now with the fullback Dirar. Amrabat outside him. Time to measure across potentially. Works it back for Dirar, who stayed onside. He's down by the dead ball. He's pulled it back, and somehow the Portuguese players got there first and knock it away. But the referee spotted an infringement. There was a push, and Boussoufa, had he made contact with that, he wouldn't have counted. He's fouled Moutinho. But Morocco giving a decent account of themselves. Behind, and not too much between the two teams.
Morocco are asking a lot of questions at this moment in time. Their pressing is very, very good. They're going in numbers, they're going collectively, and they're saying to Portugal, if you're going to play out, we're gonna take it off you. And when they've taken it off them and isolated individuals one-on-one, they've really caused a problem.
Beaten by Iran.
Morocco are asking a lot of questions at this moment in time. Their pressing is very, very good. They're going in numbers, they're going collectively, and they're saying to Portugal, if you're going to play out, we're gonna take it off you. And when they've taken it off them and isolated individuals one-on-one, they've really caused a problem.
Beaten by Iran the other day, but their previous defeat was to Cameroon in an African Cup of Nations qualifier match back in June last year. So they'd gone just over a year without a defeat. You can't get figures like that without having something about you. And they're on the front foot again with Amrabat. Played down the line. The centre halves had played Belhanda onside. Now it's taken up by Ziyech on the right-hand side this time. Coutinho comes across and concedes a corner. That's 3 they've had in the last 7 minutes.
When Morocco have turned the ball over and played into good wide areas, what Portugal have done extremely well, they've had the opposite fullback and the 2 centre-halves between the goalposts, making it very difficult to find space. And Morocco have only had the 1 player in the box. They're going to have to try to get 1 or 2 more in that central area.
The Moroccan corner will be taken in front of a flag at their end of the ground that just says, "We believe." In comes the corner towards the edge of the 6-yard box. A decent header away came from Ronaldo. Back over the top by El Ahmadi. Rui Patricio can claim it before Manuel da Costa can put a challenge in on him. Da Costa actually won 16 caps for the Portuguese under-21s. Another player who is featuring today, who's had a spell at West Ham. He's playing his club football in Turkey these days. Boutaïb has just retreated from an offside position. And a free kick to Portugal. Glad for a little bit of respite, bit of a breather, because they've been under the cosh for the last 6 or 7 minutes.
Definitely, that's exactly what Portugal need at the moment, a spell of possession, take the sting out of the game. But Morocco, they're not going to let them do that, because it doesn't suit Morocco to leave Portugal with the ball.
The Portuguese with Moutinho in possession, just drops off and splits the 2 centre-halves. William Carvalho laid it back for Font. Font put under pressure, not the best in terms of ball distribution, and it became a fight ball in the midfield, which was won by the Moroccans. They launch it forward. Cedric wins it back for Portugal. His ball forward, picked up by Guedes over on the right-hand touchline, who's become the first choice partner for Cristiano Ronaldo these days, who's in possession. It was Andre Silva who had that role throughout qualification, but's had such a poor season. For Milan, for whom he scored only twice all season in Serie A, and Guedes, as a result, has taken his place in the team now. Moutinho works it wide out towards Bernardo Silva, who's had an excellent first campaign in English football with Manchester City. Now inside the centre circle, Moutinho scrapping, loses out to the other number 8, El Ahmadi, who sticks his body in the way and diverts it back to his goalkeeper, Munir, who will clear. Good commanding header over the top of Amrabat by Font. But Morocco win it back again, still with a discernible advantage in terms of possession. Boussoufa lays it back to his goalkeeper, Munir, who's in all blue. Long right-footed ball forward from him. Boutaïb is causing problems for Font. Makes life difficult again, and Morocco win the second ball after the defensive header. Out it goes to the left-hand touchline for Hakimi. Back in towards Ziyech. Ziyech running towards the edge of the box. A right-footed effort, which was on target. But Rui Patricio, the black-clad Portuguese goalkeeper, takes 1 step to his left-hand side, gets down on his knees and makes a folding save. And it remains Portugal 1, Morocco 0. We're midway through the first half here on Talk Sport.
Yeah, after these 20-odd minutes or so, you can certainly see Morocco are a very, very decent side. I think if they do it, get out of this group in any way, shape or form, the confidence that will galvanise within the group, that will cause anybody a problem.
Benatia steps out from the back, gets the better of Ronaldo. Ronaldo playing on the shoulder, might be offside as the ball is played forward there. Da Costa got it away anyway. Out towards Nordin Amrabat, and Amrabat shoved by João Mario. The referee has he tried to play the advantage as Amrabat wanted to take the free kick quickly. The ball was moving when he took it. He actually passed it straight to a Portuguese player. The referee very sensibly just said that the ball was moving. Take it again. Costa got it away anyway. Out towards Nordin Amrabat, and Amrabat shoved by João Mario. The referee has he tried to play the advantage as Amrabat wanted to take the free kick quickly. The ball was moving when he took it. He actually passed it straight to a Portuguese player. The referee very sensibly just said that the ball was moving. Take it again. And they've done that with El Ahmadi laying it out towards Dira. Dira forward for Amrabat, who certainly looks more comfortable in this more advanced position down the right-hand side, the Watford man. They will chase it now down towards the corner flag as they work it to try and get him past Guerrero. He just ran out of room. And it goes out for a throw, which will be taken on the Portuguese left down by the corner flag. They have met before, these two nations, in the World Cup. It was in Zapopan in Mexico back in 1986. Morocco led 2-0 at this stage of the game and ultimately won it 3-1. It was the only defeat that Portugal have ever had against an African nation on the world stage. Ziyech works it wide towards Hakimi. Hakimi, the left back from Real Madrid, turns towards the edge of the penalty area. Couldn't quite get Basufa, the dark, thick-set midfielder, into play. Now it'll come back down towards the right-hand side for Belhanda. Belhanda to the shaven-headed Amrabat, knocked away by Guerrero. João Mario will pick it up in the midfield now for Portugal and work it down towards Ronaldo. Ronaldo always looking to go to ground. Benatia was the player who was coming forward and preparing to make a challenge. It was a foul. He's rolling around on the ground as if somebody's trying to amputate him at the knee, Cristiano Ronaldo, but it won't be a yellow card for Benatia. It was just a coming together of legs, really. Free kick to Portugal.
What you've just seen basically is a very professional piece of action, let's say. His team are up against it a little bit. Morocco got their tails up, putting some pressure on, and he's broken the game up and taken probably 60 seconds out of the game and slowed the tempo of Morocco down.
That goal that he scored the other day to complete his hat-trick gave him his 51st career hat-trick. It's also the 51st hat-trick in the World Cup finals, and he was the oldest player ever to score one, Cristiano Ronaldo. The age of 33 now. The goal that he scored to complete the hat-trick, that free kick, the first ever direct free kick that he'd scored in a tournament for Portugal at the 45th attempt, which was an astounding statistic. Very good free kick though, and he's conjured up a wonderful diving header in the early stages here. He's okay after that foul on him by Benatia, but from the resulting free kick, Morocco have won it back. Bit of shirt pulling going on inside the penalty area. Guerrero with a challenge on Amrabat, and as one, they were off the Moroccan bench, absolutely adamant that that should have been a penalty. No indication on our screens that there's going to be a more considered VAR check. Belhanda with a lovely piece of showboating in the midfield, just a little pirouette, stepping on the ball to bring it back under control and work it out towards the right-hand side. Amrabat will take it on. He will feel that he's got the beating of Guerrero, the Portuguese left back, but not on this occasion. And the men in white can get it forward on the counter-attack. 20 yards, 30 yards inside Moroccan territory before a square ball was really poor behind Guedes and straight out of play for a throw. This Portuguese performance is very reminiscent of the one the other day. Ragged nature, but Ronaldo is doing the job for them. We're just getting a view of the Amrabat Guerrero incident from a few moments ago. There's certainly some shirt pulling going on from Amrabat on Guerrero before they got inside the penalty area. Plenty coming the other way as well. But there was no way, having seen VAR in action over 16, 17 games in this tournament, a decision is only going to be reversed if it's absolutely concrete that there's nothing going the other way. And because of the shirt pull going the other way, there was no way that was going to happen. And now the referee is being asked to come over and speak to Hervé Renard, the Moroccan coach. And this will just be a little dressing down after his vehement reaction to the non-award of that penalty a few moments ago. He's being spoken to, but not being sent to the stands.
I think if Amrabat there hadn't had hold of...
And now the referee is being asked to come over and speak to Hervé Renard, the Moroccan coach. And this will just be a little dressing down after his vehement reaction to the non-award of that penalty a few moments ago. He's being spoken to, but not being sent to the stands.
I think if Amrabat there hadn't had hold of the Guerrero shirt, that's a definite penalty. But the pair of them were tugging at each other. I think Guerrero had more of Amrabat's shirt than certainly the other way round. But if he'd have only not grabbed the defender's shirt as well, I think that's got to be reviewed and given as a penalty. But once again, it shows they've got the beating of these Portuguese back players one-on-one. They've had a little change of formation as well, Portugal. João Mario's come to play as a number 10 behind Ronaldo, and Guedes just playing on the left-hand side.
Another body behind the ball, basically. That has forced Ronaldo to drift out into a wider position on the right. And João Mario almost at times playing as a false 9. He's the most advanced of the players now as it's launched forward down the touchline by Guerreiro. Belhanda is in there trying to win it back from Guedes in this slightly deeper role now. Bernardo Silva plays it forward. Hakimi was there ahead of Ronaldo to intercept possession. Work wide towards Ziyech. Long crossfield ball from him, and Amrabat stretched but couldn't bring it under control. And it goes out of play for a throw. But nearly every passage of play is being applauded and cheered by the Moroccan fans. The contingent, I would imagine behind that goal there's probably about 6,000-7,000 Moroccan support. Maybe a little bit more than that. Certainly many more Moroccans in here than Portuguese here at the Luzhniki on the banks of the River Moskva in the southern suburbs of Moscow. Very picturesque part of town, and we've had a great game so far. Half an hour gone here on TalkSport. Ronaldo's 4th minute diving header, a history-making goal. The difference between the two sides, it's the one that's got him past Ferenc Puskás's record. Only Ali Bey of Iran has now scored more international goals than Ronaldo. He's the most prolific European of all time after his diving header. And he's in possession now, as the boos will tell you, from this partisan crowd. Ball played by him into the feet of Bernardo Silva, if anything, slightly underhit, and Basoufa was in there to win it back. Ziyech can turn it wide to Hakimi. Basoufa will try and pick it up again. Another ball that was slightly underhit, but he rode the challenge of Bernardo Silva. And Boutaïb will chase a long ball through the middle. A poor initial defensive header. Did Font lean into it and put him on the deck? Looked like it, but the referee says no. No VAR check on that one either. More descent on the Moroccan bench, and it's bowled out quickly for Portugal to bring it forward. You consider there's an hour to go. This is so stretched at times. João Mario plays it forward, and then the free kick is given to Portugal just on the edge of the D for the challenge on João Mario. Portugal leading 1-0, and dare I say it, occasionally just having the rub of the green with the decisions. Not that there was any doubt about that one. That's a clear free kick for João Mario.
Yeah, it definitely was, but we're just looking at the record of the other end, and I think that's a penalty. I really do. It's exactly the same as the free kick that's just been given outside the box. I just hope, for clarity, that Portugal don't score this from this free kick, because if they do, I think the game might well be beyond Morocco. But at this moment in time, they're well on top of Portugal. Well, it's certainly something for Sax to discuss with you at half-time, Stuart, but I don't understand why VAR is in place and an incident that is apparently as clear-cut as that isn't inspected. On our monitors, when they look at something at length, we get a strap which comes up and says an inspection is taking place. They didn't look at that one in the same way. It was very quickly dismissed. Now, Ronaldo has this free kick. A chance for his 5th goal of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Right-footed, straight into the sextet of Moroccan defenders in the wall. And the ball will ricochet out towards the touchline. He didn't get the elevation that was necessary. He had to go for power because it was relatively close to the edge of the area. Carvalho plays it back in. It'll break on the left-hand side of the penalty area for Pepe, who chance for his 5th goal of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Right-footed, straight into the sextet of Moroccan defenders in the wall. And the ball will ricochet out towards the touchline. He didn't get the elevation that was necessary. He had to go for power because it was relatively close to the edge of the area. Carvalho plays it back in. It'll break on the left-hand side of the penalty area for Pepe, who plays it in. The corner flag taken out by the clearance there from Boutaïb. And it's out for a throw, which will be taken. Or is it going to be a corner? It's the referee's verdict. I think he's given the corner on this left-hand side. 32 gone. Portugal 1, Morocco. Now, one final thought for now about the VAR. There's a clear reluctance for the officials, for the VARs themselves, to overturn decisions. That much is evident 6 days into the tournament. This corner is going to be Portugal's 3rd of the game, and it comes with 12 minutes to go to half-time. Portugal are leading 1-0 here on TalkSport. Ronaldo is trying to get away from Manuel da Costa inside the penalty area. Da Costa is just being spoken to by the referee. In comes the corner from Moutinho. It's a very deep one towards Font, who's headed it back down. It'll be turned away by Amrabat, only as far as the centre circle. Cedric is there, the deepest of the Portugal outfield players. Finds João Mario, now out towards the right-hand touchline for William Carvalho. William Carvalho gets a return ball from João Mario. João Mario makes his way forward, but then plays a conservative ball past Cedric, and the Portuguese commentators in front of us were livid at the lack of attacking intent in that move, but they've still got possession with Guerreiro finding William Carvalho again. Another ball back
back behind square. Cedric picks that one up. He goes back inside his own half for Pepe. Pepe into the feet of João Mario. Picked off easily by Hakimi. Hakimi, a little 1-2 with Belanda. Now Ziyech can turn, and he's inside Portuguese territory. Works down towards the left-hand side for Boutaïb. Outside him is Hakimi on the overlap. Just slightly has to retrace his steps to bring it under control. Back towards the edge of the area for El Ahmadi, and it was a speculative and poor attempt from him. Over the bar and wide into block 120 of the Moroccan supporters away to our right-hand side. Goal kick, 11 to go to half-time. Portugal 1, Morocco 0.
I think for Portugal to get back in this game, their build-up play's very good, their pressing's very good, turnover of the ball very good. What they haven't done is get numbers in the box and create an overload if they can when the ball's been flashed in.
1-0 here. Uruguay, Saudi Arabia kicks off at 4. Iran, Spain at 7. If Morocco lose this game, they are out, irrespective of the result in that Iran-Spain game. One of them would end up on at least 4 points. Portugal would also have 4 points, and the most that Morocco could get would be 3. Beaten by a 95th minute own goal the other day, and trailing to a 4th minute diving header from Ronaldo today.
I think it's fair to say that if they do go out today, Jim, there's a lot worse teams that are going through, because I think they've been pretty decent, certainly what I've seen.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Unless you get those 3 points in that first game, the pressure that gets ranked up, and they've been suckered in the first game, and all of a sudden you're chasing matches.
They are by no means out of this one. Almost certainly can't afford to go 2-0 down, but at 1-0, and they're playing the better football, they'll fancy their chances. Free kick is swept inside the penalty area. Rui Patricio can come out and claim it. It initially took a touch off the head of Guerrero, and it looped up in the air, and the goalkeeper could come out and catch it cleanly. Guerrero then tramples on the ball, and having done so, stays down holding his knee, and Belanda has a free kick given against him. He helps Guerrero back to his feet. I think he just has a little word as well. A little bit of contact was made, in fairness, having seen the replay, but no doubt that Guerrero did trample on the ball. 20 years since they last won a World Cup match. Back in the days of the Coventry pair, Youssef Chipo and Mustafa Hadji, both in the Moroccan side. They beat Scotland 3-0 in St Etienne in 1998. They were the first African country ever to get out of the group stage in the World Cup. Back in '86, they drew with England and beat Portugal in that group stage, then ultimately lost 1-0 to West Germany in the second round. Haven't made it to the second round since, and 3-0 in St Etienne in 1998. They were the first African country ever to get out of the group stage in the World Cup. Back in '86, they drew with England and beat Portugal in that group stage, then ultimately lost 1-0 to West Germany in the second round. Haven't made it to the second round since, and need something dramatic to happen if they're going to make it through to the second round this time round. But they're in possession again, possession which stops with Mark Geiger's whistle, and he's just going to have a word with Cedric, who was the guilty party, committed the foul, caught Boutaïb just around the thigh. Boutaïb's okay, and it's a free kick which will be taken by the Moroccans in their red shirts and green shorts, about 7 yards inside the Portuguese half. But a cloud rolling in from the west here in Moscow now. 1-0 Portugal lead. Ball under control inside the Moroccan penalty area with the goalkeeper Munir launching it forward. Portugal have looked like a side who've only won one of the last 5 games. The way that they played, they've hardly created a chance. They haven't had an effort on target since Ronaldo scored the goal. Morocco have had a couple at the other end, but Rui Patricio hasn't had a difficult save to make so far. Throw is taken into the feet of William Carvalho. Now Hakimi can knock it away. Ziyech back for Hakimi. Hakimi bringing it forward down the left-hand side of the area into the feet of Boutaïb. Boutaïb on the left-hand side of the box can't wriggle his way past the challenge from a couple of Portuguese players. It was Pepe with the important touch to steer it clear and put it out of play for a Moroccan throw. But again, much of the possession that they've got is in Portuguese territory. Portugal restricted by and large just to counter-attacking moves. Hakimi down the left-hand side of the box for Boussoufa. Couldn't quite take it cleanly in his stride, but then runs around it and plays in Ziyech. He can check back towards Boussoufa inside the penalty area. Cedric defends well enough. El Ahmadi, little 1-2 with Hakimi, and now picked up by Amrabat. Hakimi delivers. It's come off Pepe, out of play. Throw taken quickly. Sun intensifies again, burning down on that far touchline as Amrabat and El Ahmadi converge on a Portuguese player and foul him. João Mario wins the free kick, and again there'll be no hurry whatsoever to take it. Just a little bit of respite with Morocco in decent possession, but Portugal still in the lead, 1-0.
Yeah, I think Portugal feeling a little bit sorry for themselves. The rubber of the green's not going their way with one or two of these decisions by the referee, it's fair to say. And but some of their play, the intricate little triangles Morocco are playing, they've got no answer to it, the back line of Portugal. And one-on-one, they're just getting exposed so much, but they haven't created a clear-cut opportunity.
This man has Ronaldo, it's over the top of Guedes, good save! Munir has kept Morocco in the World Cup. He stood his ground as Guedes tried his luck. He stuck his left hand out instinctively. It hit that hand. But he will feel that he deserved a little bit of luck as he bravely stayed on his feet, made himself as large as possible, wasn't committed, and it remains 1-0.
The ball was absolutely inch perfect from Ronaldo. He set Guedes through, but I think the ball set up probably a little too high for him, couldn't generate the power, and the goalkeeper just stuck out that hand, done enough.
They hardly featured in qualifying Gonzalo Guedes, who spent the season on loan at Valencia from PSG. Now a yellow card has been given. It's Mehdi Benatia who is the recipient of it. It's the first of the game. It's going through the back of Ronaldo. Wonder if he feels that he owes him one from that Juventus Real Madrid match earlier this season. Extraordinary game. Benatia was the player that won the penalty, that gave the penalty away, I beg your pardon, which Real Madrid with Ronaldo scored in what turned out to be Buffon's last ever Champions League tie. Buffon, you remember? Wasn't best pleased. Benatia in the book. Morocco have possession back, given away by Belhanda. It's one of the few passes they played so far that hasn't found feet. It's gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken by Guerrero inside. They lead Morocco by 1-0. Mathematically, they won't be through at the full-time whistle. If they hold on here, they'll have 4 points. Spain against Iran later today. But they would only potentially need a point in their last game, Portugal, against the Iranians, in a match that takes place in Saransk on June the 25th. So that's what, next Monday. Ball goes back to the goalkeeper, Rui Patricio, who clears it left-footed. Kind of missed Spider-Cam by much. And it goes over the halfway line, and João Mario will try and guide it on, but all he could do was get a touch to it, then just try to block Benatia's challenge, and both players hobbled away from that particular confrontation. Benatia's long ball forward has drifted away and gone out for a goal kick, which will be taken by Rui Patricio away to our right-hand side. Stuart, we've got 3.5 minutes to go to half-time. Morocco have been great, but they trail 1-0.
It's been an absolute intriguing game. One thing they've got to do, get more numbers in the box when they get into wide areas and go past the Portuguese fullbacks. Also as well, keep their discipline. They're getting infuriated with referee Geiger's some of his decisions, and I can quite understand. I've got sympathy with them. But they've got to keep a lid on that. They've got to keep 11 players on the pitch.
Well, they could easily have had a penalty, and we thought that Boutaïb was foul. VAR didn't even look at it. Basufa down towards the right-hand touchline for Dirar. Back for Basufa again on the right-hand touchline. I say VAR didn't have a look at it. Obviously they're checking everything, but they certainly didn't suggest to the referee that he had another look at it. It did appear to be a blatant push on Boutaïb inside the penalty area, and he was attacking a ball which came in, which the defender didn't win. Ball thrown forward by Dirar into Boutaïb again, who's had a good battle with Font. Not the battle that he's necessarily won. He's won the odd instalment of it. Font knows he's in a game. Ball this time has gone out of play off the Moroccan striker for a throw, which will be taken on the Portuguese left. 2 minutes to go to half-time. Cristiano Ronaldo's 4th minute goal, the difference between the two teams. Excellent diving header. Da Costa. Out to the left-hand touchline for Hakimi, who just tried to sucker Bernardo Silva into making a challenge. And Silva does make a challenge. He's forced to slide in. Hakimi will pick up the loose ball and then turn a long diagonal ball over the top. Amrabat gave chase. It was Guerrero that could head away. Came into a more central position from left back to deal with it. One back then by Dirar. Dirar down towards the right-hand touchline. Amrabat clipping it forward. Another good move off the ball from Belhanda. He's pulled it back towards the edge of the area. Ziyech trying to get in there. It was a defensive touch. Take it down towards the corner flag, and Guerrero clears his lines. Morocco will build again. Boussoufa to Dirar on the right-hand touchline. The men in red still giving a good account of themselves, pushing forward. Amrabat beats Guerrero again. Right-footed ball inside the penalty area. Was just painting by numbers. He's trying to deliver it to where he hoped someone would be, and Cedric could chest it down to his goalkeeper. 1-0 to Portugal.
Once again, fantastic interaction play there. And Amrabat's gone down the wing. He's spun his full back, probably for the 4th or 5th time in this half. Got him behind him. Not enough numbers in the box.
Doesn't always look up before delivering a cross like that as well. Watford fans will tell you that he could be enigmatic. And a season away from Vicarage Road on loan, of course. Morocco have a player down injured, Belhanda. The referee has stopped play because he's down holding his head. Mark Geiger didn't think he was fouled. There's going to be a drop ball that will restart play, but only after Younes Belhanda has picked up whatever treatment he thinks is necessary. Just got caught by the trailing hand of William Carvalho, no intent whatsoever, but is going to need a little bit of treatment as we prepare to go into stoppage time. 15 seconds left of this first half, and there won't be too much time to be added at all. I would imagine only the 1 minute. Just caught him around the temple, but he's okay. It's Belhanda, French-born player. He plays his club football in Turkey with Galatasaray. He's scored a couple of recent goals against Slovakia and Estonia. And I told you there'd only be 1 extra minute to be added. There are 3 somehow. My memory is getting worse in my old age. 3 extra minutes in this first half. Portugal leading 1-0. Belhanda's okay. He's got to come back off the field though before he can resume, and play will restart with the drop ball. Boussoufa's just going to lay this down towards Rui Patricio away to our right hand side, and does exactly that. Well, it's a token gesture. He's just feathered it back towards the edge of the penalty area, and Rui Patricio will come out and claim it, but he's been able to waste a little bit more time in doing so. Now it's cleared, left-footed by the goalkeeper, who signed for Wolves a couple of days ago. Headed forward by him, out through the midfield. Be brought down on the right-hand side by El Ahmadi. Amrabat will give chase, and he's really got to scamper to get through the gears to keep it in play. He's done that down by the dead ball line, and then was fouled. The referee's assistant was right in front of that, didn't give it. But the referee from 30 yards away said that Guerrero caught Amrabat, and it's a free kick to Morocco, 3 yards from the corner flag and a yard in from the dead ball line.
Yeah, they really could do with something here. I think if they got this, I can see them going on to win the game, the way the game is.
In it comes, a left-footed in swinging towards the edge of the 6-yard box. A little flick, and Bernardo coming in at the far post couldn't get on the end of that flick from Belhanda, and the chance comes to nothing.
I can quite honestly say in the 40-odd minutes that we've watched this game, absolutely nothing has gone Morocco's way. Little nicks across the front of the goal, little flick-ons have all just whizzed past everyone or gone to a Portugal player, or alternatively decisions that, in my opinion, should have gone Morocco's way, that 50-50-ish potentially have all gone Portugal's way.
Just a little bit of fan unrest in this stand away to our left-hand side a few moments ago. But it all seems to have calmed down now. Sliding challenge goes on the right-hand touchline from Cedric and puts it out of play for a throw. Throw which is taken quickly and worked for by Hakimi. And he will continue his run. Boutaib has dropped off. He's trying to hold it up. Ziyech in support. Boutaib's fouled his man. He's getting a little bit niggly on the field as well. Matinho is the player that was fouled. He's helped back to his feet. And Portugal will be able to see out time in the first half from here. 1-0 they lead.
Yeah, Boutaib, he's just short of a bit of pace, isn't he? He's received the ball on occasion and turned. He's mainly more of a hold-up type player, but when he's got turned, he's just short of a bit of pace to cause the centre of their defence a a real problem.
Free kick is taken, swept forward, and that's the end of the first half. Well, Morocco the other day, much the better side against Iran, lost 1-0. Today, much the better side against Portugal, but they trail 1-0. They can't turn their dominance and neat, easy on the eye, attacking play into anything constructive in front of goal. But they've still got a chance of doing something very impressive in the second half here. Portugal have not got this one, despite Ronaldo's history-making goal. At the break, in the Luzhniki, it's Portugal 1, Morocco 0.
Well, the Moroccan captain, Bernardi, is having a right old word with Kurt Geiger. Referee fancies himself, doesn't he? VAR has obviously been shut down. That's classic FIFA, though. I'm going to talk more about that with Stuart Pearce in just a moment. I want to tell you about some of the other games to come later on. Group A, Uruguay against Saudi Arabia. Adrian Durham's in the chair, Alex Crook and David Connolly with you. 4 o'clock for that one. 7 o'clock Iran against Spain tonight with Alan Parry and Alvin Martin. Something has to give. And Adrian as well, your presenter. And don't forget, midday Sunday, England against Panama, Nizhny Novgorod. And we're all there. We have all the build-up, everything you need to know on the way to that game. Loftus-Cheek saying that he's ready to go, should he be needed, if Ali's thigh strain keeps the Spurs man out of England's second match. Well, let's get some half-time thoughts with the Co-op.
Half-time on TalkSport, in partnership with the Co-op. Visit your local Co-op and grab all you need for the big match. Football's better together at the Co-op.
Well, the first thing I want to talk about here, really, Lady Luck's not with Morocco. There's absolutely no doubt about that so far. But VAR for me here, if you're going to use it, you've got to use it.
Well, I've seen too many instances already at this World Cup where I'm thinking someone's got to be looking at that, and I've just seen a penalty and nothing's been given. You know, this is why I'm not a favour of VAR. It infuriates. I could sit here and watch a game with the referee making a decision, Sags, and sit here and be quite comfortable that he's got it right or got it wrong, in our opinion. But what frustrates the life out of me now in full well that someone's got access to television and still hasn't got the decisions correct, in my opinion.
Well, I just don't know what they're doing, but it's classic FIFA for me. I think they've basically been told to sort of lay off, seemingly, a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know what FIFA think they're doing, but it's sort of laying off, and I'm not surprised that the Moroccan bench was hopping mad when it came to all of that. I just hope that they get not a rub of the green. I just want the right decisions in the second half. Away from that, Ronaldo's brave, and
I've got to say two things about Ronaldo. Ronaldo separated the two teams today. The team that he's playing in have been second best from the whole of the half, and his bravery and movement in the box and the goal that has separated the side. I've also, as well, when he come off the pitch at half-time, he's clearly not too happy. He went straight over to the manager, and the manager and him were locked in conversation going down the tunnel. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a change of formation in some way, shape or form. Obviously, the manager courts his opinion with his experience. But if you were Portugal, you'd be delighted with the result. But there's so many warning signs there.
Yeah, there absolutely is. I think the first 10 minutes of the second half, if Morocco can get a goal or something like that, it's really game on here. I mean, it's been fascinating from that point of view. And I think that, well, what they have, you were saying it in the first half there, they've not got men into the box. I'm just wondering if they try to be intricate now again, try an earlier ball, or somebody else. The shape's gone well, the triangles are great and everything, but they need another man, as you say, in the box.
Yeah, potentially a midfield runner, I think. They're building things up in those wide areas. The fullbacks just can't handle the wide players from Morocco. But when the ball flashes into the box, you've got to have more than just a centre forward in there.
Yeah. Ask Jim if he wants to drink. He's obviously spilt his last one.
Or something. I styled it out.
All over his notes as well. But the man has got so many, and he's so experienced. There's absolutely no problem with that to come. Second 45 with Jim and with Stuart. And well, that was our half-time thoughts and a look back at that first half with the Co-op. Football is better together at the Co-op.
Half-time on TalkSport, in partnership with the Co-op. Visit your local Co-op and grab all you need for the big match. Football's better together at the Co-op.
Ronaldo, Portugal's lone musketeer. All for one.
Corner number 2 will be swept in. This one taken short, so it's an away swinging delivery, and Ronaldo scores with his first touch of the game. A diving header that makes history. Goal number 85 for Cristiano Ronaldo, and that's the one that gives Portugal a platform through to a place in the last 16. Another opportunity for Guerreiro to bring the ball forward here. He's made some 20, 30 yards. Ronaldo on the turn, works the angle, right-footed shot across the face of goal, creeps narrowly wide. It was almost 2 for him inside the opening 9 minutes. Morocco have won it back. Bit of shirt pulling going on inside the penalty area. Guerreiro with a challenge on Amrabat, and as one, they were off the Moroccan bench, absolutely adamant that that should have been a penalty. Long ball through the middle, a poor initial defensive header. Did Font lean into him to put him on the deck? Looked like it, but the referee says no VAR check on that one either. This man has Ronaldo, it's over the top of Guedes, good save. Munir has kept Morocco in the World Cup. That's the end of the first half. Well, Morocco the other day, much the better side against Iran, lost 1-0. Today, much the better side against Portugal, but they trail 1-0. They can't turn their dominance and neat, easy on the eye, attacking play into anything constructive in front of goal. At the break, in the Luzhniki, it's Portugal 1, Morocco 0.
Tournament football can be unpredictable. So for all World Cup matches, back a team to win, and if they go 2 goals up at any point, Paddy Power will pay out as a winner immediately, whatever happens next. A wonder goal from a teenager. A random headbutt from a Frenchman. A hungry Uruguayan. Whatever. Go 2 up and nothing gets in the way of your winnings. Paddy Power. Enough of the nonsense. Applies to pre-match win, draw, win singles only. Not available in shops. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade quality building products. In June, we've got a 6x5 foot close board fence panel for only £16.85 ex VAT. Now that's a real deal. We've got even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse. For more information, see selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go. Expect to build your own car deal online, anytime, at arnoldclark.com. Expect over 200 branches nationwide. Expect to choose from over 20,000 cars. And expect the UK's best used car deals, guaranteed.
Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing.
Expect the Arnold Clark experience. Visit arnoldclark.com. Check their reputation. Check their insurance. Check their background. Check how much time you're wasting on all of this when you could be watching the football instead. Or just go to checkertrade.com and do it all in one. Exactly. When you need someone to do a job around your home, checkertrade.com should be the first place you go. Visit checkertrade.com, where reputation matters. Checkertrade.com. Expect to build your own car deal online, anytime, at arnoldclark.com. Expect over 200 branches nationwide. Expect to choose from over 20,000 cars. And expect the UK's best used car deals, guaranteed.
Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing.
Expect the Arnold Clark experience. Visit arnoldclark.com. We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
Looking for a wide range of plasterboard? Well, Selco's got it. Want to know that it's in stock? Selco's got it. Want trade prices too? Yep, Selco's got it. A massive range and huge stocks of specialist and performance plasterboards, all at great trade prices. Selco's got it. See selcobw.com to find your nearest branch. Got it?
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade go.
The World Cup, the biggest stage for upsets, passion and opportunity. Your gut says to take advantage of every game, and your smarts say where to go. Because Betfair have had the best odds on the World Cup, so you always get the most from your bet. Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts.
Data provided by TX Odds and BetRadar, based on Betfair Sportsbook average match odds over round since 12th of March 2018. Full terms at betfair.com, 18+, begambleaware.org.
If you want to win big this summer, then come and see the team at QuickFit. We're tough to beat for tyres, we have thousands in stock, so we're bound to have what you need. And you'll always walk away a winner with our special offers. We've got over 600 centres across the UK, and most of them are open 7 days a week. So head down to your local QuickFit today or book online and drive away happy. If you want to win big this summer, then come and see the team at QuickFit. We're tough to beat for tyres, we have thousands in stock, so we're bound to have what you need. And you'll always walk away a winner with our special offers. We've got over 600 centres across the UK, and most of them are open 7 days a week. So head down to your local QuickFit today or book online and drive away happy.
Unmissable matches from the motherland. The 2018 FIFA World Cup. Russia on TalkSport.
Back with the football in just a moment, but Barry Bennell has lost his appeal against a 30-year sentence for child sex offences. Let's speak to our sports news reporter who has been at the Court of Appeal in London today. What did the judge have to say, Alex Dibble?
Thanks, Mark. That's right. The paedophile former Manchester City scout and Crewe Alexandra coach lost his appeal against that sentence for sexually abusing young players between the late 1970s and early 1990s. He argued 30 years in prison was too harsh, but the Court of Appeals disagreed, meaning that sentence will stand. One of Bennell's victims, who was in court today, told me he was really pleased with the decision, and it sends a strong message to paedophiles across the country. Again, Barry Bennell's 30-year jail term has been upheld.
Alex Dibble with the latest news on that one. Well, we've got 45 minutes for Morocco to save their World Cup. They've got to come from behind. They've got to get at least a goal without another reply from Portugal if they're going to continue in this World Cup with just 2 games gone. Later on, we've got a game which is fascinating next, Uruguay against Saudi Arabia, and then Iran, Spain to come in Group B as well. Quite an afternoon for you on your World Cup station, TalkSport.
Could they get one right at the end of the match? Oh, they certainly can! They've done it! It's Jimenez in the 90th minute to surely win the game for Uruguay! And it's an opening 3 points for Uruguay. Jose Jimenez with the tremendous header past El Shenawi.
It's a right-footed effort from Golovin. It is in. Goalkeeper has had a nightmare again. Across his line, far too late. And Russia will beat Saudi Arabia by 5-0. That was the worst performance that I think I've ever seen in the flesh at a World Cup.
Still with Diego Costa. He scored! It's a wonderful individual effort from Diego Costa. Out to the edge of the box. The ball's driven in for a fantastic goal from Nacho. Drives it from 25 yards out. And there goes the whistle at the end of a most breathtaking 90 minutes of football that sees Spain and Portugal, the old rivals, battle out a 3-3 draw.
It's played into the far post. They have done it. I do not believe it. With only seconds to go, and this might be a moment of history. There's the final whistle. They have done it. Amazing. Iran have beaten Morocco.
The World Cup on TalkSport with Direct Line. Get a quote from Direct Line. Search Direct Line Van.
Well, the manager of Morocco is having a long chat right now with the referee down in the holding area and their assistants. They've done it in a good-natured way this time around, but you definitely saw him give the old give us a clue, Lionel Blair television screen, didn't he, there, to say, why on earth aren't you watching?
Well, justifiably, because that's what VAR is in place for the obvious errors to be corrected. We all thought that that was an obvious error as the ball was played in. Boutaib, the Moroccan striker, jumped for the ball, was pushed out of the way. No contact was made by the defender. That's a foul. The referee didn't give it, okay. I don't understand why the referee didn't give it, but that's why the VAR protocol is there, so that it can be checked, and so that an error like that will end up being given as a penalty and justice can be done. And I think Hervé Renard's got every right to say to the referee, why was that not looked at in greater detail? Why did the VAR, what did the VAR see that made that not a penalty?
Well, of course it was. Of course it should have been looked at. But the other thing is here, I want a recording between the headquarters in Moscow, wherever they are, looking at the VAR and the referee. And if there are contentious issues, that recording or part of it should be played to everybody, so we know that they're absolutely transparent. It's FIFA though. Transparency isn't a word that even Infantita wants to get involved in. I'm a little annoyed with that. I'm not going to say that Ronaldo and Portugal don't deserve to lead or anything, because they do, because they've defended well and Morocco have failed to take their chances. But if they go out of the World Cup on something that everyone else seems to think was the possibility of a penalty, it's a poor show. This is a great show, though. Here's Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot.
Well, Morocco have to make sure that they can continue to play at the same kind of tempo that they did in the first 45 minutes. If they do, the chances might come. They need to show just a little bit more. Just a little bit more attacking nous around the final third, as Stuart has been saying. No changes being made in terms of personnel at half-time. Morocco trail 1-0. If they lose, they are out of the World Cup. Portugal, from the restart, get us underway. It's a ball that's played forward towards Ronaldo. He takes it down towards the corner flag. Just seemed to pull up there, but he's okay. He gets a return ball here, but he's offside as Cedric knocked it back to him, and he disdainfully kicks it away. Knew before the ball got to him that he was going to draw the flag. Portugal lining up Rui Patricio in goal, Cedric, Pepe, Font and Guerreiro the back four, and then they've been playing with Bernardo Silva on the right, Guedes out on the left-hand side in the last 20 minutes or so, Moutinho, William Carvalho in the centre, and João Mario in support of Cristiano Ronaldo up front. There's a much bigger gap between João Mario and Ronaldo now, with Ronaldo playing in a more central role. He had been drifting out on the right-hand side. Give the Moroccan team in the middle, but in a minute, but they can bring it forward again with Guedes from Portugal. A block challenge on him. Play goes on. Advantage from the American referee as he goes down towards Bernardo Silva on the right flank. He's pulled it back towards the right-hand touchline. The right back Cedric to Pepe, whose long right-footed ball forward is flicked on by João Mario. Goes out towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Guedes will try and get on the end of it. Al-Ahmadi tracked back with him and has to divert it out of play for a corner. Stuart Pearce.
Well, they're certainly going to have to be guarded against this corner again. The last thing they need is, I think, a second would finish them off. I think mentally they need to make sure that they defend better and get very touch tight on Ronaldo. His movement's sensational for that goal, I've got to say.
Well, this is their first corner of the second half. Moutinho will go out towards the far touchline to take it, which is the Portuguese left. He's raised his right hand above his head. Pepe makes a run across the face of the goalkeeper. The corner is dropped short towards Guerreiro. Fonte with the header, and he's put it wide. Decent chance, 9 yards out. Had time to watch it onto his head, but couldn't hit the target.
Yeah, really good chance on that occasion. Ronaldo went towards the near. Font just stood there. Didn't really get a good leap on, and wide it went.
Morocco have Munir in goal, Dira, Benatia, Da Costa and Hakimi the back four, El Ahmadi and Boussoufa, then Nordin Amrabat, Belhanda and Ziyech, and Boutaïb up front. And here is Amrabat, who's caused problems for Guerreiro when he's had possession. And the Moroccan number 16 wins the throw. He's taking it quickly. Boussoufa clips it back inside the penalty area. Again, they only have Boutaïb there to try and attack it. Ziyech does his best to win the second ball, but every time it's delivered from a wide position, there's only one red shirt to try and hit.
That's their biggest problem. One of the central midfield players has got to make the box, or the opposite wide player has got to make the box. You're near enough got to say to him, get between the goalposts when that ball comes flashing in.
Ball is chested down towards the corner flag. Hakimi, and it's come off Ziyech and goes out of play for a throw. Only one nation has ever won the Euros, and then the next World Cup, that was Spain in 2008. We then won the World Cup, beating the Dutch in that ill-tempered final in Soccer City, Soweto in 2010. Portugal tried to emulate that, look a long way away from being potential world champions at the moment, but I seem to remember that they looked like a long way away from being European champions all the way through, pretty much until about 20 minutes from the end of the Euros. At no stage did they look as though they were going to be able to win it, and kept grinding the results out. Similar story today, leading 1-0, possession pretty even, Morocco having the more chances but not quite as many on target as they would like. Rui Patricio controls the ball inside his penalty area, chips it down towards Cedric, and Cedric is pushed to the ground. Ziyech giving away the free kick, which will be taken on the Portuguese right hand side by Cedric. He's got nearly 100 Southampton games behind him now. He in fact leaves the free kick for Pepe to take. Hervé Renard, the coach for Morocco, again just waiting on the edge of the technical area, just trying to do a little bit of fine-tuning, having a word with Ziyech, who was influential in the first half. Portugal bring it forward, find Ronaldo on the edge of the penalty area, well tackled by Basufa. Now Da Costa will bring it forward, looking for Boutai, but he couldn't spin Pepe, and Font will allow it to run back to his keeper.
That's sort of where they're falling down as well as the numbers game in the box. Boutab has just not got the pace to run in behind, wants it to feet, and that makes it easy for the two central defenders who are not the quickest.
Now Portugal can find space on the left flank, an opportunity here for Guedes. Good reverse ball. João Mario will be able to keep it in, checks back, pulls it back, a side-footed effort. Here's Ronaldo over the bar. Well, it was a side-footed layoff on the edge of the penalty area. It was certainly not what was intended by Guedes, but it worked perfectly as a ball for Ronaldo. But he has skied it over the bar from